Hi everyone, this is Deb of Deb House Crafty Cottage. Welcome to day 3 of a card a day for 7 days for Earth Day. Okay, it's actually a card a day for Earth Day, and 7 days. Earth Day is April 22nd. So I'm doing all things trees, nature, botanical, greenery, whatever. So anyway, I wanted to do something different besides the last 2 days I did trees. So I pulled out this Botanical Beauty background stamp, which I had never used yet. It was in the January to April 2024 mini catalog, which is retiring the end of this month. So I think this one is in the new catalog, though, if I'm not mistaken. I think it carried over to the new annual. So yeah, you can probably get it still. So what I did is I used my Stamparatus. So if you have a stamping platform of some sort, because it's a large stamp, because my desk has a little indentation, it kind of goes down just slightly. Um, I use the Stamparatus, which is what I have. I have that and the Altenew stamp wheel, which I still haven't gotten out of the box, which I need to do. So the first one I did was just on regular white cardstock, and it's not Stampin' Up's. I keep saying, I don't know what it is, but let me see if I can find the wrapper for it. 1 second. Um, no, apparently I can't. I don't know what it is. It's pretty heavy though. I actually do think it's 110 pound, but I don't know where I got it. It might be Michael's brand. And I used soft sea foam as the color, and then I used one of my blending brushes with balmy blue and just went all over the background. So that's the first one. We're not going to use that one today. Second one, I kind of got it lower, but what I did is I stamped in soft sea foam the whole thing, including the flowers, and then I used one of these lovely little finger daubers, and I used Moody Mauve, which is a in color from Stampin' Up, which has another year to go as of the end of this month. And I just did it again with Moody Mauve. I got a little bit on the greenery there. This one I'll probably die cut into an oval or something, but then the flowers are going to get cut off anyway because this is, I'll have to shorten it somehow. So we'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. This one I used Garden Green, and this color is actually Moody Melon Mambo, which it doesn't look like Melon Mambo. It almost looks like Blackberry Bliss because it's over see, it's like this. This one, the Melon Mambo didn't take, so you can see the Garden Green underneath it. That's on the edge. See how it doesn't, my thingy doesn't stamp right in certain areas. So, and I do use this thing to rub over it, but I have to remember to lift it up and check. And yeah, anyway, that's that one. So on this one, I masked off the flowers, and then I went back with a finger dauber and I did Melon Mambo. So you can see the difference if you leave the green on and then do the Melon Mambo over the green. So what I do is I do it all in garden green or whatever you want for your greenery. And then I clean the whole thing, and then I only go in and finger dauber the flowers. Um, Let me step back. To do this one, that's what I do, okay? I do it all in garden green, then I go clean the whole stamp, and then I only color the flowers, and I do it again over the garden green. For this one, which I prefer, you mask these off with, like, I don't know, masking some kind of low tack tape, like this not masking tape, sticky note tape, or sticky notes would be fine torn up, or washi, and you just put them over the flower stamps. You stamp the garden green, make sure you get good coverage. I kind of missed a spot here. And then before you stamp, you pull off all the low tack tape, and then you stamp it so your flowers are not going to show up. Then you clean the stamp, and then you go in with your finger dauber and just color it, the flowers, the way you want them, okay? I see I didn't clean them real well, or I missed masking, but it's okay. Nature, you know, flowers have greens on them too. So those are the ones I am not using today. So the next one is heat embossed. And so this is actually on a piece of New Horizons. You know, I've been using this paper pack. Well, the backs of it have these colors like this, and that one's polished pink, which is what I used. And this is fresh freesia, which I'm using as a background on the second card we're going to do. And I used Versamark, so I cleaned my stamp really good from all the other ones. I used Versamark ink and white. It is Stampin' Up's white, but you can use any white you have. White Stampin' Emboss powder. Now, I've had mine for a long time. I think they sell it in like a set now or something. I bought mine when they sold them individually. And I did that right on the paper, which had these white areas. When I first was, you know, heating it, I thought, oh man, I really got too much powder on there. No, it's because the paper's like that, so it tricked me. So we're going to do that first, and then the second one we're going to do is this one. Now this one, I only stamped once, and I used finger daubers for 6 different colors: soft seafoam, old olive, shaded spruce. I got a little shaded spruce on my old olive here, which is okay. And that's the greens. And then for the flowers, I used, I want to say, Daffodil Delight, Mango Melody, and Fresh Freesia. Okay, so that's what I did, and I think that came out so pretty. But I haven't decided what I want to do with that yet. And that was only stamped once. Now, some of these start to dry a little before you get to the other ones, so just take your stamp and blow on it like that, and then do it. And it kind of you can't really spritz it with water, because if you do that, it's going to run everywhere. But isn't that pretty? So yeah, you can do that too. All that with just this one Botanical Beauty stamp set. And it's got greenery for Earth Day, right? And flowers. So that's what I'm doing. And we're going to go ahead and make this card first. I'm bringing in a couple other stamp sets and dies. The first one stamp set we're going to use is a Happy Hello to You out of Sunny Sentiments, which is retired. And the second one we're going to use is Just Wanted to Send Some Happy Thoughts Your Way out of this Happy Thoughts, which is also retired. This is from 2021, and I didn't write on here when this is from, probably 2020 or something, I don't know. And then for dies, we have the postage stamps, these two, this one and this one. And this is Retired Tasteful Labels dies, and it's this one, I think. Pretty sure it's that one. All right, so let's get started. Let me take a sip of coffee first. I actually had like a cup and a half this morning, but I had a little snack in between doing videos, and I just felt like I needed a little more. Also, I brought out this ribbon. I'm sure this is retired. I think this was in like a flowers for every occasion combo pack or something. I don't know. Now, I thought, yeah, I already die cut. So what I'm doing is a white card base, which feels like it has embossing powder on the back of it. And I cut it. This is the 11 side, scored at 5.5, and then cut at 4.25. And this should be, I might have done this a little different than I usually do. I think this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Yes, it is. And then this, I think, is 5 1/4 by 4, maybe. So that's going to go like that. And then we're going to have ribbon go across, just a flat ribbon with this in the background. And then we're going to stamp on here. And Polish Pink is retiring the end of April, and I still have it out. So here it is. And we're going to stamp a happy hello to you. Now, usually when I stamp first and then die cut or whatever. But we're winging it. So if it gets crooked, yeah, it's actually pretty good, right? Not bad. And that's going to go there. So it's kind of monochromatic. Let me get my snippies scissors for ribbon. And I'm going to cut it a little longer so that I can wrap it around. It's a nice sheer ribbon, so it won't add a lot of volume. I wish they had more sheer ribbons still that are thin like that lay flat. All right. Anyway, I can get them other places, I guess. So where's my other glue? Here it is. So we're going to just use, I'm trying to make sure I'm staying in frame, so yell at me if I don't. I'm going to glue this down first. We're going to put it up on dimensionals. Now you don't have to. You know, these days mailing costs are outlandish, and if you don't want it dimensional, you don't have to put things up on dimensionals. I just like the way it looks. Alright, so now we're going to glue this down. See, that's the other side of there. I told you that already. I just have a lot of paper and I need to use it. Both. Well, I have more designer paper than I have cardstock, I believe. So anyway. But I have a lot of cardstock too. Both Stampin' Up and other. Not as much other, but some. Alright, so that's that. Now let's wrap this around roughly in the middle, and for that I'm going to use the tape runner. This is a scrapbook.com one. I generally don't use tape runners a whole lot except for this. I don't like to buy the plastic all the time, and I have the same issue with glue, but anyway, you know. Alright, let's see. I'm going to put one side down, then I'm going to flip the card over and pull it. That's crooked, Deb. Flip the card over, pull it nice and tight, but not so that it bends. And I think that's almost straight. I have trouble with straight, right? With eyeballing things to be straight. Close enough. Now, see how thin that is? That's nice. Now I'm just going to glue. I'm not going to bump that up. I'm going to glue if the glue will come out. Oh, tell me I had to open a new bottle. Nope. I thought, and I always put a little extra on these. Okay? Okay. Stick that in my little holder, which I got off Etsy, but it desperately needs to be cleaned. I don't know if I can run that through the dishwasher on the top rack or not. Maybe. Alright, now let's get dimensionals and bump this up. And I'll do one in each corner. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to look for some bling. And I'm going to put one there and one there. I maybe should have put one on each. That's alright. Whatever. Most people wouldn't even use that many. I still have it in my head that I want it to be very secure. And I'm going to hold it up a little bit. I'm not going to push this down just yet. Why do I keep getting stuff on my cards? No, a little bit crooked. Alright, now let me pause you. I'm going to look for some bling. Well, I couldn't find any polished pink, but I have these pearl basic jewels, and they're 3 sizes, so I am going to color them in dark polished pink, which is retired. I'm pretty sure we're retiring Stampin' Blend marker, and I'll just color them with the alcohol marker. An alternative would be, I have some non-Stampin' Up brand resin dots. And let me let them dry for a second. I'm going to put one here, and then maybe the little ones here. Well, maybe the big one here and the two little ones there. How's that? Oops. Hope the glue came off with it. Yeah, see, some of the color came off on me though too. Oopsie. Tweezers would probably work better. If you have pearls or just regular rhinestones and you have alcohol markers, you can color them whatever color you want, and that saves you from buying them. All right, so there's card number 1. I don't know what I'm doing on the inside yet. Usually I would put a scrap of paper, but I don't think I had any left big enough for this, so that's that one. All right, let me put these away and I'll be right back with the next card. Okay, everyone, I'm back and I'm using a Fresh Freesia, which is now in the color families and the subtles for Stampin' Up. Again, it's the 11-inch side scored at 5.5, and it's 4.25 inches wide. And I cut this at 5.5 by 4. This is out of the New Horizons paper, but I'm using it as a background. Not a lot of it's going to show, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Not much of it will show, like I said. So, and that one, we want to cover the whole card front. So 5.5 by 4.25. Okay, now here's our piece that I did as the background using Botanical Beauty, and this is Old Olive. Let me give you measurements because I don't remember already. And they are 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 for this. So I believe this is 4 by 5.25. Yes, roughly. Well, this looks like 5 1/8. Let's try this again. 5.25 by 4, we'll say. And this then is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, that's what it is. Might be something a little off with that, but pretty close. And this, again, I did by using finger daubers to color all the colors individually. 6 colors. And I already mentioned my thing, but it's Soft Seafoam, Old Olive, and Shaded Spruce. And, oops, I'm trying to get it on straight, sorry. Down a little bit, down a little bit. I don't know if it'll go down. You know what? I didn't get it down far enough, so I'm going to bring in my little trimmer and just try and trim a sliver off the bottom of this. My big trimmer, I would not be able to do this. All right, I think a little more. Hopefully I'll get it straight. Pretty good. Okay. I love that. That was an old Stampin' Up promotion years ago, and I'm so glad I got it. Anyway, if you have any little guillotine, you know, it's wider on the sides, but I'm okay with that. Now, before I glue that down, I have a decision. I have this little scrap of paper in Fresh Freesia. I could put that across. I might be inclined to cut it down to just the level of this, or I have this Fresh Freesia open weave ribbon, 3/8 inch. I am certain it's retired. Or I could put it on the paper. That kind of looks cool too. And then what we're going to have over it is the sentiment. Just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. And we're going to use this Tasteful whatever I said earlier, label dies, something like that, and that's going to go here. You know what? I'm not going to use the paper. Actually, I think I might. I might just use the paper because the ribbon's it's not going to show up much anyway underneath there, and I just want a little more color, and I think I'm going to go all the way to the edge of the green. So let me go ahead and glue this down. Now, if you are a perfectionist, which I sometimes can be, but not today, you could put a little sliver of paper under the end. So I'm going to have to cut a little bit off of the other side, but because it's going to slant down a little bit at the green part, since the card is on top of it, right? Now I'm going to flip that over and just cut, do you know what I mean? Like a piece, a tiny little sliver right here and right here, so it doesn't bend down like that. Now we will get this out of the way. Just got my fingers all sticky, so give me a second here and throw that little sliver out. Now we're going to stamp before I glue this down, and we're going to stamp in Old Olive because that's what the background paper is, the cardstock right here. And hopefully we'll get this one pretty good too, because again, I don't usually die cut before I stamp. I'm going to test this. I just re-inked my stamp pads the other day, and do you see how I got, it didn't stamp out, but I have ink on the edges, and I really don't want to get that on the label, so I'm going to try it again and not push so hard on the ink this time, and check it before I stamp. Let me stamp that to get the water off. Okay. Yeah, that's better. I don't have it around the edges, and I'm going to stand up and yay, so pretty. It's a tiny bit crooked, but not too bad. Everything I do tends to be a little bit crooked. So forgive me for that. All right, that's just a chamois I'm cleaning with now. So this is just going to go over this. And then I found these little flowers. I'm sure they're retired. They were from 22 to 23 annual. And the colors were Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Starry Sky, and Parakeet Party. And those are retiring as of April 30th. But I have 2 packs, and I have all these Fresh Freesia. So we're going to use those. And they're flowers, so they're perfect. Now, let's glue this down first. Oh, and we'll put this up on dimensionals, because I just want to. So you're getting a 2-for-1 today, which will be Sunday when this goes up. Maybe I should have saved that for actual Earth Day, right? A bonus. Oh my goodness. Well, definitely for the next one, I'll have to be getting some new glue out. And I didn't quite get that background paper on straight, but I'll trim that down afterwards. I think that's pretty straight. Isn't that pretty? Ugh. You know, I never used to be a purple person, but I am now. Okay, I got sticky on here. Let me get my my gummy eraser. It's probably because my fingers are sticky. But I have to be careful, or I put too much glue on this, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, over here. These are very cheap. I think I got them in a 2-pack off Amazon years ago, but Dollar Tree sometimes has them now too, individually. And, you know, just check your pricing, because sometimes Dollar Tree is not the cheapest, but sometimes it's worth it. And then all you have to do is occasionally pull off this black stuff, otherwise you get the black stuff all over your card. That's the gummy coming off, right? That's good enough. Okay, so let's put this now. If I want to, and I think I do, I'm going to go around the edges of this in also Old Olive, if I can find it. Is this it? Yes, I have the Stampin' Right dye-based ink marker. I don't want to add another layer there, and there wasn't another layer of the same shape, so I'm just going to go around this with the marker, and that gives the appearance of dimension without having dimension, and it also just makes it pop off the background a little more. Even though it's going to be popped up, I just like framing it, if you will. I'm kind of going at an angle, but I'm trying to be really careful, because if you slip and you get a mark, you gotta start over, and I don't want to do that. All right. See, I think that just makes it pop off a little more. I could use a little bit more down here, I think. Got a little more dark. These markers, I love the brush end. I don't find that they write great with the writing end, which is what it's meant for, to be able to write in the colors. And I do once in a while, but yeah, doesn't do it for me. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. Never know what you're going to see on Deb's channel here. Yeah. All right, I'm going to do my usual. 2 there. This time I'll do 1 here, and 1 here, and 1 here. I could just put 1 in, but since I did it that way over here, I'll do it that way again. And some demonstrators I've seen, I think Amy K is one of them, cuts all her regular size dimensionals in half. I don't do that, but I do use the edges when we get done this much. All of the rest of the sheet, right? So, sorry this is a little long, but you know, you're getting 2 cards. And I wanted to do it with you, sort of. And I'm not laying that down all the way yet, because I'm pretty sure I got it crooked. Yeah, I want that on the bumpy part onto the thing, and now it's not over far enough. That's pretty good. No, up a little bit. I think that's good. All right, and now we'll just use some of these, and I'm not going to put them on the background because I really want them to show. I'm going to put another big one here, and then I'll put a little one up. I could put it right in there. There we go. And that, again, was the, what are these things called? Fun Flower Resin Shapes. And I think they retired. I'm not sure. Pretty sure. Okay. So there we have our 2 cards. I will put a piece of white cardstock in here. I don't think I will stamp anything on it this time. And this one really doesn't need anything. And for mailing, I'd probably just leave it blank. It's just a hello. I hope you enjoyed episode 3 of a card a day for Earth Day, but you got 2. But basically, I was featuring the Botanical Beauty background stamps. So if you have background stamps, just have a play with them. You know, take an hour or so and just make a bunch of backgrounds. And now I have these backgrounds I can use however I want in the future. And I like to do that, and then sometimes I forget about them, and other times I'm like, what am I going to do today? Oh, let's pull out my backgrounds, and there you go. Quick cards that way. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and week ahead. Bye for now. Hugs, love, and peace.